Hello everyone, welcome to Just Common. This is Sharath. In this lockdown, let's not stop our learning into quarantine. So, let's make some use of it in this quarantine. In this video, we are going to discuss about the basics of an aircraft. From our childhood till day, we wonder how airplane flies whereas the cars still roll on the road. So, in this video, let's see how aircraft flies on the sky. First, let's break the word aircraft into air plus craft, which means air is defined as the invisible gaseous substance surrounding around the earth, and a mixture mainly of oxygen and nitrogen. So next, coming to the word craft means the word used in transportation, generally boat or ship, which is used in transportation. Now, coming back to aircraft, it means now any machine that can fly is known as an aircraft. So the reason for aircraft to fly is basically its structure. It is so-called aerofoil. Aerofoil is the cross section found on the wing. So now let's discuss something about aerofoil. Aerofoil, a body so shaped as to produce aerodynamic reaction normal, which is perpendicular to the direction of its motion through the air without excessive drag, which means the body or the substance or the shape, it is a thing which has to produce aerodynamic reaction which is perpendicular to the direction of its motion. Here the direction of its motion indicates the airflow through the without producing excessive drag. It has to produce some positive, which means it has to produce some lift. That is what we are going to discuss about. Now let's see forces acting on the aircraft. The main forces are lift, weight, thrust and drag. Yes, this is a thing we are discussing on the previous slide. So now let's discuss about each force in little detail. Lift. It is an upward force acting on the aerofoil. It also opposes the downward force acting on the airfoil. It is produced by the dynamic effect of the air acting on the surface of the airfoil, and also it acts perpendicular to the flight path through the center of pressure. Now here let's see, consider the airflow is flowing through this way and also through this way. Now the lift which has to be produced is, it should be going through this way, upward motion, which means it is perpendicular to the airflow which is passing over it. Now let's discuss something about drag. Drag is a rearward force caused by the disruption of airflow by the wing fuselage or landing gear. Okay, now the word disruption means a disturbance or problem which is interrupting this process, and that is what the purpose of the drag is. Like drag is like it acts rearward and parallel to the relative wind, and also it opposes the thrust. Now let's discuss with the help of a diagram. Now let's see. This is the aerofoil. Consider this to be the aerofoil. Now in this way the relative flow is going on. So in this way relative flow is going on. So the drag is going to work on this direction, which means it is parallel to the relative flow. Which means it is parallel to the relative wind. So it is also parallel. That is what we are discussing about it. Now let's discuss about the another important force that is occurring on the surface of an aerofoil. It is called thrust. Thrust is an forward force produced by the help of a power plant or a propeller. So thrust also opposes or overcomes the force of drag, and they are saying it is also acting parallel to the longitudinal axis. Now let's discuss the help of a diagram. Consider this is an aerofoil, and we all know it is an relative air wind. So let's put an arrow mark. Now let's change the color to show you the thing. Okay, thrust means it has to produce this way force, which means it is opposing the overcoming the force of drag. So which means force will be drag will be acting through this way, and it is overcoming and also acting parallel to the longitudinal axis. See, it is acting parallel. Now let's see the most important force that is happening on the surface of the aerofoil, that is called weight. Weight, it opposes the lift and it is acting vertically downward through the aircraft center of gravity. So basically the weight of the aircraft itself plus the crew weight and plus the fuel that is taken into the aircraft plus the cargo or baggage that is going to be transferred or that is going to be traveled, which means simple, the weight of an aircraft plus the crew fuel plus cargo and plus the downward force due to gravity, which is equal to the sum of the weight. So which means once again with the help of a diagram, consider this is to be the aerofoil and this is the relative flow and weight has to act downward. So this way it should act. So it is acting, consider the aerofoil to be the aircraft. So it is acting with the help of the weight of an aircraft itself and the crew who are traveling and the fuel which is used to travel and the cargo which is also traveling plus the force which is acting downward due to the gravity. So now let's conclude all discussed topics into a single picture with the help of this diagram. So now we can see the new word relative wind. So that relative wind is the distance or the direction of a movement of the atmosphere relative to an aircraft or an aerofoil. So which means this wind is the direction of a movement of the atmosphere relative, like in our case it is air, so it is also giving the direction of the air. So it is the opposite to the direction of movement of the aircraft or aerofoil relative to the atmosphere. Whereas as you have seen in the lift picture, like we need to travel or we need to oppose the direction of the flow in order to travel forward. So that is what, when the wind is flowing through this way and the lift has to be produced and the thrust has to be produced normal and also opposing side. So that is what this picture shows. So hope this video does not bore and shows your support through the pole that is shown at the right side corner. And also if you like a content, please do share, subscribe and like our channel. Make sure to follow our Instagram page right away. Bye bye, stay safe.